What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego back with some more boxing. I'm back with Ego's potential fights. These particular two fights that I'm going to talk about, really excited for. Hopefully they get done and everything's set in stone and the fights get made. That's Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury, as well as Mikey Garcia versus Yuriorkis Gamboa. So I'll start with Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. Really, this is a no-brainer. The heavyweight division has been pretty dormant since the Klitschko era. Since Lennox Lewis retired, really, we haven't really had an American heavyweight that really stood the test of time. At one point, HBO was pumping it up and saying Seth Mitchell was the next dude to be that. Too many flaws in his game. I don't know if he has the chin. Seth Mitchell is a good dude. He's a likable character. He has a great story. Came from football, started boxing late after a career-ending injury in his football career, but he just wasn't the man to fill those shoes. Deontay Wilder, on the other hand, he's an Olympic bronze medalist. He's huge. He's always athletic and in shape. And he has vicious KO power. And Tyson Fury is a Englishman, so he has that UK demographic, which is always good. Anytime you have America versus UK, if the stars are big enough, those could be big draws because you're getting really two different regions of the world all tuning in to see this fight. And the UK, shout out to the UK, they really support their fighters and their champions. Tyson Fury, another huge, gigantic dude, had a little bit of trouble, almost a roadblock in the Steve Cunningham fight. Cunningham knocked him down in the second round, might have caught him off guard, but either way, it was timber for Tyson Fury. So if this fight happens, this is great timing. Deontay Wilder, a fighter who a lot of people question his resume, say, yeah, he has the knockout power, but anybody with enough power could do that against scrubs. And not to say every single person he fought was a scrub, but he doesn't have any marquee wins like just champions that are thriving, or even like a Tony Thompson who knocked out David Price, or somebody who's relevant in the heavyweight division, like a top 5, top 10 type of dude. So that's the biggest complaint I've heard about Deontay Wilder. Tyson Fury, a lot of people aren't necessarily high up on him. Some people are. But the complaints that I've heard as far as Tyson Fury is much the same. He's overrated. He's untested. He doesn't have a chin because of the Steve Cunningham thing. So it'd be an interesting matchup against two contenders who we really don't know all there is to know about them. We haven't seen them face the most adversity that's available in the heavyweight division. Other great fighters have battled back after big losses. It's just a lot of questions, and I feel like this fight would answer. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about Tyson Fury and David Haye. That was a fucking complete joke. David Haye pulled out of the fight basically twice. First, it was because he sparred with no headgear and received some sort of cut, and then it was rescheduled till February 2014. Then he pulled out again, saying all of a sudden he has to have a shoulder injury. So it's just injury, kind of like the Devin Alexander Kell Brook, and it's seeming more and more like David Haye doesn't want the fight for whatever reason, and he's talking about retiring. So I'm through. I'm over it. I don't give a fuck at this point. But Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder, that's a great consolation prize. I was looking forward to Haye versus Fury, both Englishmen. But this is definitely a great alternative in my opinion. And then the other one is Mikey Garcia versus Yuriorkis Gamboa, another no-brainer. I mean, you got a guy who's fast rise to the top. That's Mikey Garcia. And then you have another fighter who was known for being explosive. At one point, they were calling Yuriorkis Gamboa the baby Tyson. He's fast, he's athletic, he's quick, he's cocky, he's Cuban. And so far recently, it doesn't look like he's living up to standards or his full potential. He signed with 50 SMS promotion, and it doesn't look like he's really rose to the occasion and met those standards in which a lot of people heralded him. I think Yuriorkis Gamboa is a fighter with a lot of potential, very athletic, like I said. However, long spurts of inactivity, poor matchmaking, I guess you could say, like just people I think are losing interest in the Cuban hope of Yuriorkis Gamboa. Yet he's still a dangerous opponent for anybody if he comes in focused and sharp and ready to fight. He moved up in weight, and as he moves up, he doesn't look as good. Mikey Garcia, another fighter who is like 2 fights removed from being considered a person. I had a lot of people before the Orlando Salido fight. I said Mikey Garcia would beat Orlando Salido. They were telling me I was full of shit. Didn't know boxing, don't know shit about boxing, Roger Mayweather voice. And they're saying Mikey Garcia, who is he beat? He hasn't fought no one. Me personally, I've seen fundamentals, I've seen skill, and basically that clay mold. And he's still at a point where he's young enough. He hasn't had a beat down per se to the point where he can't grow and learn and get better and better and better. And it looks like that's what he's been doing. He fought Orlando Salido. A lot of people, again, didn't give him credit into that fight. They said Orlando Salido was going to run through him. And he knocked him down 4 times. It ended in a controversial fashion, headbutt, broken nose. But he was really dominant. Orlando Salido started coming on late, but for the majority of the fight, Mikey Garcia was dominant. So anything beyond that is a what if. Oh, what if Mikey Garcia was starting to fatigue? And what if Orlando Salido looked better in the second tail half of the fight? Who knows? But all I know is Orlando Salido is still a dangerous opponent. He showed that in the Orlando Cruz fight against the gay dude. And he showed that he's still a viable competitor. He can still fight. He can still hurt people. And that makes the Mikey Garcia win even more impressive to me. Then Mikey Garcia fought another veteran and a puncher, and that was Juanma Lopez. He really did what he wanted with Juanma Lopez. Juanma looked punch drunk and just out of sorts. So that looked like an easy fight. Then he moves up in weight. I just want to note in the Juanma Lopez, Mikey Garcia did have trouble and he didn't make weight, but I think the outcome would have been the same. Anyway, next, moved up in weight to fight Rocky Roman Martinez, or Roman Rocky Martinez, however you want to say it. And he got knocked down in the second round, battled that adversity, got right back up, got back to his game plan, stayed patient, stayed focused, stayed accurate, was mindful of his defense, and he took over the fight before stopping Rocky Martinez via vicious body shot. He had him hurt. Then he just sent that body shot that just was the icing on the cake. So a fight with Gamboa and Mikey Garcia, again, that's another great fight. We know Mikey Garcia can get knocked down off balance. He's not yet on a level of a Mayweather where it's that hard to hit him. He can be hit. His defense isn't as impeccable as a Mayweather, I guess you could say, but it's very good. It's really good, especially for his age and everything. So he's a very smart fighter. Yuriorkis Gamboa is a fighter who's fast, and he kind of fights to the competition, to me. We've seen him against the Daniel Ponce de Leons and the Orlando Salidos, and we know what he's capable of. It's just he hasn't showed it as much recently. However, speed kills, and I would really be anxious to see how Mikey Garcia fares against a person with the speed of a Yuriorkis Gamboa or a Gary Russell Jr., and that's what makes this fight interesting. Gamboa has power in both hands, and he has really fast hands. So I don't think I've seen that. And in boxing, me personally, I love to see a person challenge with the different styles, the different attributes, the different strengths and weaknesses. I've seen him against southpaws. I've seen him against an aggressive, offensive-minded fighter like Orlando Salido with no speed but power and a chin. Now I want to see him against a fighter who's very athletic, fast hand speed, just quick overall, quick reflexes, and power. I think that's a great test for him, especially since this fight would be taking place probably at 130 or 135, depending, or a catchweight maybe. This is new territory for Mikey Garcia, so I'd really like to see this fight and see what the fuck happens, because it's all about progression and moving forward. And if Mikey Garcia can stop Gamboa, that would be huge. And if Gamboa can beat Mikey Garcia, then he just re-energizes his career, which is remain kind of stagnant. So hopefully 50 and Top Rank can get this fight done, show it, put together a great solid card, and this will be a dope fight. Let me know what you guys think of these potential fights. I'm amped up for them. Hopefully they get done, and 2014 is as good of a year as 2013. Let me know what you guys think. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego, signing off.